And we start with some good news for the economy. GDP grew at a rate of 2.6% in the third quarter, better than what analysts were expecting after shrinking in the first 2 quarters of the year. This all coming just 12 days ahead of the midterms. For more, let's bring in ABC News business reporter Alexis Christoforous along with White House correspondent MaryAlice Parks. Great to see you both. Alexis, break down this GDP report for us and what it means for our wallets.
Well, Kenneth, certainly it's good news that we were able to reverse a 6-month slump in the economy and see it grow by 2.6%. But it's not as good as it looks on the surface, because if you look under the hood, you'll find out why the economy actually grew last quarter. And it has to do with our trade deficit, which actually was able to shrink last quarter as we exported more goods. A lot of economists now believe that this is really more of a one-time boost than growth that we'll likely see continue. We also saw consumers spend more on things like health care, but their spending on goods and services actually started to slow because we know prices are so elevated right now with inflation at a 40-year high. We did see an increase in government spending at the federal, state, and local levels that also contributed to the gains. But most economists, even after today's report, still expect a recession in the cards early next year to mid next year as the Federal Reserve continues to raise interest rates to rein in high inflation.
MaryAlice, Democrats continue to trail when it comes to the economy. Today, President Biden touted that new GDP report. Is there anything Democrats can do to improve their numbers on that front, or is it just too late?
Yeah, Kenneth, you're right. A poll after poll, voters have said that they trust Republicans more on this issue ahead of the midterms. You know, midterms are always a referendum on the party in power, and I think a lot of what we're seeing is voters' frustration. They're frustrated with those high gas prices. They're frustrated with inflation, and they're taking that out on the party in power, on the president, on Democrats who've had control of the House and the Senate. And President Biden's trying to walk this really tough, fine line between saying that he gets it, he understands people are struggling, he understands they need to do more, but he's also trying to talk about things that they have done, bills they have passed to try to bring down the cost of prescription drugs or the cost of energy. And that's really hard right now. A lot of Americans, I think, are just not buying that, and they're frustrated, and they're looking for a lot more ideas from Democrats.
Alexis, the Federal Reserve is set to hold its next meeting on interest rates on November 2nd. What are you keeping an eye out for, especially after this report and with Election Day less than 2 weeks away?
Yeah, the countdown has begun, right? 12 days till the elections, and it looks like the Federal Reserve is going to raise interest rates again. We're expecting another 3/4 of a percentage point rise. That would be the 4th in a row. We're probably going to get another one in December. You know, Fed Chair Jerome Powell warned us that we might see, this is his word here, pain ahead, mainly in the form of higher unemployment as interest rates continue to rise. We'll have to see if they can still achieve that soft landing, right? Trying to bring inflation down without tipping us into a recession. If we fall into a recession, I'll tell you, it's like probably one we've never seen before, because it would be accompanied by a very strong job market with unemployment now at 3.5%, Kenneth.
And MaryAlice, when talking about the economy, Biden bashed Republicans, saying they have been rooting for a downturn. That's a direct quote. Republicans have already promised a standoff over the debt limit if they take control of Congress, trying to cut spending, including on Medicaid and Medicare. Is that a fair comment from the president? Is it a preview of what we could see in the next Congress?
And that's a big question. And more we're hearing Democrats, not only President Biden, but all Democrats, trying to draw a clear contrast, trying to say, you might not feel great about the economy, but are you excited about Republicans' plans? Or trying to question Republicans about what exactly their plans are to fight inflation in the new year. It's much easier to cast blame on the other side than it is to propose policy ideas. And you're right, President Biden is just really doubling down on that criticism. In his statement out today, he said congressional Republicans have a plan that would drive up inflation and add to the deficit by cutting taxes for the wealthiest Americans and large corporations. So basically, Democrats are trying to say you might be frustrated right now, but take a closer look at Republicans. We'll see if it works.
Yep, we will see. Less than 2 weeks away. Alexis, MaryAlice, thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.